Good morning, traders. This is Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass with a morning look at markets for Wednesday, September 9th. Okay, I want to do a quick review and a quick video this morning, just covering the indexes and crystallizing our game plan for today. As we discussed last night, we've got a new technical situation. We have confirmed daily sell signals on SPY, QQQ, and IWM, along with SMH, the semiconductor ETF. And what that does is it dictates a change in posture. Now, we have to respect those sell signals. And tactically speaking, we should be looking for rips to fade. Sell the rips, don't buy the dips. And one of the reasons that I say that is, well, twofold, because we're on sell signals, so you don't want to be jumping into dips this early. And number two, just not seeing any fear in the put to call ratio. In fact, yesterday they started piling back into calls. I think those guys are early. I think ultimately they're going to get run over, and I don't want to jump the gun. If we're going back to new highs, we're going to have plenty of time to transition back to being long. What I'm talking about here is tactical opportunities at objective levels where if we're wrong, we get a paper cut. So let's jump into it. Here's SPY. We closed low yesterday at around 333. Now this morning in the pre-market, they managed to bounce it up into this 337 area and has since faded off a little bit. Okay? In the live session, key off of this 338 area, that's your go, no-go level for either an objective short or a place to get long for a $4 gap fill. That would be a great trade. If we got the gap fill, I don't think you need to close it like immediately, oh my God, the gap is filled, but you should be prepared for a rejection there. But if it breaks above, there's room to 344 here at this prior high. And if it breaks above there, then probably, I would say, at least back up here to this 349, 350 area. I think that's a little much to ask for today. But hey, you never know. If the thing picks up steam and the bulls pile in or whatever, it could take it that far. But the key is 338. If you see price get up to here and waver and start to roll over, you can get short with a stop just above. If you're wrong, simply take it off and get long for a gap fill. Now on the low side, if we get into this 336, 337 area and it comes down and breaks 335, I think that is a level. You can see it right here where all this support was. If price breaks that level, I think you can get short against it. Look for 333, and if 333 breaks, then it's down here to this 331 gap level, $2 lower. And don't forget, on the daily chart, 331.18 is the 50 EMA. And that may just provide support here right at the top of the gap. You can see the gap is at 331.23. The 50 is at 331.18. I would expect that to hold on the initial tag. So be prepared to cover. You might get a reactionary bounce, probably would. But if that ultimately fails, then down into the 327 area. Let's look at the Qs. Same general idea, just different levels. In the pre-market, They rallied price to 275 and that failed. In the regular session, I expect them to try it again. Usually price will go and find pre-market levels. So I expect them to try that again. It's a pretty good level. You can see there's a lot of volume over price support in this area. You could try a short there. I think that would be very objective. But if they break above, the key level is 277.50. If they got up there and it failed, or you see it fading or having trouble, great place to anchor short with a stop just above in the gap. And just like SPY, if you're wrong, paper cut, get out, flip long for a $5 gap fill. That would be a nice trade. Same thing up here. If it pops 283, you got room to 286, and then above that 291. Doubt you're going to see that, but keep it open as a possibility. Down at the low end, 270, hypercritical level. That corresponds to the 50 EMA on the daily. First try held. First touch held. We'll probably get a reactionary bounce. But the second time, if selling picks up, a lot of times that second touch won't hold. So I want you to be ready for that. Because here's the key. There's lots and lots of momentum funds out there, and algos and investment mandates that dictate if price falls below the 50, you've got to sell. So if price falls below 270, you might see somewhat of a cascade or flush effect where a lot of these funds and algos, they have to sell by mandate. It's not some guy deciding, wow, I need to sell or I don't want to sell. It's dictated. It's in the program. And then you'll see some of this program selling. And if and when that happens, look for a fast move to fill this gap and possibly push it down towards 261, 260. I don't think anybody's going to be thinking about that today. At least very few people after 3 hard days of selling. But I think that potential is definitely there. I'd like to anchor up higher. But if we don't get that, I think you got to be quick on the trigger. Get short on 270. See if we get a massive flush. And then try to close it out for a big win. And not carry a lot overnight on that flush. You're probably going to see a lot of put buying, a lot of panic if that happens. And you'll see down moves on SPY and IWM as well as those programs kick in. So, not a prediction, just a scenario. So keep that in your mind for any surprises. But like I said, what we want to see is something up towards 275 or 277.50 where we can get in at higher prices. IWM, as I mentioned yesterday, it's been outperforming simply by the fact that it's not going down as fast as SPY and the Qs. But that doesn't mean we can't make money. The levels are very clear. We've been working with them for days, if not weeks. 153, 154, and 155 are distinct resistance levels. If you see price come up here, especially if it gets to 155, great place to anchor a longer term short position with a stop just above. If it, earlier in the day, if you get a rally that starts to fade at 153 or 154, those levels are fine. Those levels are fine. Just set your stop just above and respect it if it takes you out. But if 150 fails, you go into 147.5, I think, pretty quickly. We've got a well-defined downtrend line, and there's a decent amount of support down at 147.50. I think that'll be your first move. So there may not be as much excitement here, but that may be a good thing. It will give us, the moves won't be as dramatic and as scary, and there's not as much premium built in as compared to the Qs, where the IV is jacked up ultra high. I think you could get in here at a reasonable level and, look for a move down towards 147.50. The thing that takes that whole scenario off, if price breaks above 155, forget the short ideas. It's a place to get long against 155 on this breakout. That would probably be accompanied by breaks higher in the Qs and SPY. So 155 is the go, no-go level for having bearish ideas. Okay, I hope that quick overview helps clarify things for you, at least for today. For traders on the longer time frames, you're on a sell signal. Look at the individual charts that you have. If you get sell signals on whatever you're holding, I would respect those. Sell signals are sell signals for a reason. Don't wait and hope that this is just a baby dip. It could be, but it also couldn't be. So you've got to take a defensive posture. And the bright side of that is you can rebuy whatever you like at lower levels if this plays out into something more. So be careful, be defensive, take your shots at objective levels, and I think everything's going to work out fine. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Over in the show notes, there's places for you to subscribe to my content and to visit the blog. I did receive a comment yesterday on the videos. I'm surprised you don't have a trading room. Well, we do have a trading room. If you subscribe to the content at www.tradersprofitcompass.com, once you subscribe, I'll shoot you a link to the trading room. We'd be glad to have you. A lot of good guys in there, a lot of good traders. I think it'll stimulate a lot of ideas in trading for you. Plus, really expand your trading circle with good guys and good traders. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. So I hope you have a good day of trading. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Talk to you next time.